go.
My name is Victoria Lee, and I played for the HD Hollywood Dodgers Shooting Stars from 4th grade to 8th grade.
My name is Keely Ohashi. I played on the Monterey Park Mustangs from kindergarten all the way up to 12th grade.
Yeah. My name is Emmy Takara. I played on the Venice Sparks from kindergarten to 8th grade.
Hi, I'm Claudia Fan. I was on the Venice Sparks since 2nd grade.
My name is Maiya, Kuida-Osumi, and I play on the Venice Sparks from K through 12.
Okay, let's see if I can make it. I would say without J-League, my life would definitely not be the same as it is right now. That sounds like I'm exaggerating, but I feel like they've given me so much.
J-League is Japanese American basketball, and there's different basically associations throughout California. So there's one in NorCal, and then in SoCal there's the Seiyo League, and then JAO, yeah. And then basically basketball is a big part of the community. So you start off really young, playing and practicing, and then you play on teams, and then you all just kind of play basketball against each other.
When we were younger, we were obsessed with each other. We loved to hang out. We kind of grew apart over the years, but I see them all as sisters, and I know they all see me as a sister.
Growing up, I'd say my basketball teammates were some of my closest friends back in the day.
A lot of us went to elementary school together and then high school. Our parents were really close as well, so we were able to kind of have a good dynamic off the court and then also on the court because we've been playing together for so long.
I feel basketball is the least that I remember about being on the team. You ever see that clip of the guy, there's a college basketball player, and he was they're what are you gonna miss the most? And then he starts crying, and he says getting food. That's what's rolling in my head right now.
After practices, a lot of the time it'd be 9 p.m. or something, and then a parent would say, pull out their phone on Yelp and be should we get boba or something?
Honestly, we were boba fiends.
After Sunday games, it was usually around the SGV area. We would just find something around that area. And yeah, it was pretty common to eat after games and practices.
Yeah, after every game we had snacks together and we sat in a little circle and then we talked to each other.
There were some times where I was more excited about the food after the games. Even if we lost, it felt like we were winning.
More than basketball, I think it was kind of just a large community of people that were connected through basketball and connected through kind of their Japanese American origins.
Basketball means a lot to the Japanese American community. It's a lot of how people got into it or made some of their closest friends, and it's just a huge way to make connections and see people.
But it really had roots a long time ago, pre-World War II.
During this time, there was a lot of racial prejudice against Japanese Americans. Executive Order 9066, basically sending over 100,000 Japanese Americans to these incarceration camps across the U.S. And basketball had already been a huge part of the community, along with baseball. They needed some recreational sports to relieve them of being put in the middle of nowhere. So basketball became a really prominent thing during camps. That's why if you go to Manzanar, they have basketball courts there just to signify that during this time they were still making the best out of it. After they're out of the camps, basically they still wanted to continue playing basketball, but when they would join other things like the YMCA, they would basically be denied access to it because of their ethnicity. So what Japanese Americans decided to do was okay, fine, we'll just make our own league.
When you got to NSU, do you remember seeing any of us and be oh, they look kind of familiar, or if you knew our names or anything like that?
Yeah, so when I saw everyone at NSU, I was actually really excited because I didn't realize that a lot of us were actually going to SD.
NSU stands for the Nikkei Student Union, and it's basically the Japanese American cultural and social organization on campus. There's more than 15 NSUs across California,
including most of the UCs, a lot of the CSUs. A lot of them put together a basketball tournament. It's a big fundraiser for most of the schools, and it's a chance for all the NSUs to come play basketball together just like we did all our lives.
I attend most of the tournaments because I get to see everyone we have played against.
I really like seeing everyone. like honestly a highlight of my year.
Like there haven't been many Asian League players in our NSU the last few years. I remember we were kind of worried that we weren't going to be able to send basketball teams after my class graduated, but then you guys just all came, all playing against each other.
So I remember, like, I think it was one of the first NSU events we had. Keely went up to me and she was like, oh, like, I know you from basketball and everything. And, like, not gonna lie, it took a second for me to realize, and I was like, wait, like, I remember her on Mustangs. That's really cool.
I feel like Victoria, since she played on Hollywood Dodgers, I always remember playing them. Our coach would always tell us to watch out for her because she was aggressive and liked to drive.
I think I remember Victoria just because some people were on like North Stars.
I vividly remember talking to Claudia, Maya, and Emmy all kind of lined up, knowing that they're the Venice Sparks girls.
And then you guys, of course, like we could never beat you guys. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you remember our last game. I know we lost to you guys and then we beat you guys. And that was like revolutionary for us because you guys got so much better over the years. Like it was just like progressive growth.
A lot of teams would have their last names on the back of their jerseys, so I always remember, oh, she number one. And she goes to be running by, and then I was looking back at old videos, and she was like, just thinking it in all the time. I remember Kelly for sure, and she also had goggles too, like me.
I remember that she was freaking fast.
I just remember them being really good. I thought they were kind of scary at the time, like when I was in elementary school, because I thought they were aggressive.
Getting to know Keely and Victoria like on a personal level now at UCSD has definitely been a nice experience because it's like, oh, these are like wonderful people, and they're also like really good basketball players.
Oh my god, everyone looks so tiny.
So as a Hollywood Dodgers player, we are always invited to the Hollywood Dodgers tournament in Vegas, and even though we didn't do well every time, it was just really fun hanging out with the girls, having the pool parties.
Yeah, Vegas was always really fun. We would like rot in the pool until like it closed.
Yeah, like the Hollywood Dodgers tournament, like Tigers tournament, where we all like get stuffed into a hotel, and we have like this like dance where certain people go and dance.
It was a little awkward because they were co-ed and just like, even though I like seeing people, it was all sweaty and gross. I actually got COVID one time from going. Don't go in the mosh pit.
Other memories that stick out to me were, I think like every year Venice would hold like this potluck for everyone in the league. So at the end there'd be these little fun little scrimmage games where the dads would play the high schoolers, and then the moms would play like the elementary and middle school girls. Because over pandemic we didn't have any of those potlucks. The last one we went to was in 12th grade.
Didn't have that for my senior year though. I think if I'm being completely real with you, that is the thing I think I missed out on. I don't give a crap about high school graduation or prom. That was the thing I was really sad about because it was the first thing that got canceled because of COVID. And it was something that like you went through every single year and you got to see the graduating team, and then we didn't get that. So that was pretty upsetting actually.
So my old team, the Venice Sparks, they were gonna have their last tournament during the summer of 2023. So they invited me to play, and I actually got really excited because it's been such a long time since I played like an actual game with the team and then seeing all the team members. But unfortunately, I got COVID-19. I was so sad I couldn't play because I felt like that was like my last opportunity to like actually play, because I know most groups like break up in high school. Like that's usually how it goes.
There was a time, I think when we were like in first grade, when we started playing JO, there was a rule where you had to have, or no more than 2 players on your team be less than a quarter Japanese. And we had 3, and if we played in JO, we would have to sit one out every season. One time after our practices, my parents were like, how would you feel if your team disbanded? And I was really sad about it. But then we ended up just playing JO and sitting one player out, which is like really shitty in retrospect. But that was the closest we ever got to breaking up. We had our own basketball leagues because people were racist and didn't want to play with us after the camps. So I understand like why those rules were in place at times, but I still think that rules like that they go against the creation of the league to begin with. And I'm glad those rules are being phased out.
Oh my gosh, that makes me look good.
Did you play on your high school basketball team as well?
I did. I played for Culver City High School. Go Centaurs.
How was your? Oh, sorry.
Go Centaurs.
Oh, yeah.
I would say, especially with like the aggressiveness and intensity, the high school team was a lot like more aggressive and like
Having to be more cutthroat, or like coaches being more cutthroat and serious. It's not like, you know, everyone gets their 5 minutes of playing time no matter what.
I mean, I still enjoyed playing, but you know, you had to be okay with sitting on the bench the whole game sometimes.
I think towards like high school, when we started playing like for our own teams, it was a little bit harder to play with each other because we didn't practice as much. Yeah, you definitely like drift apart just because like you're not really hanging around each other as much. But I think we still managed to stay like pretty close, and even when we came back together, like it wasn't like no time had passed, but it wasn't like awkward or anything either.
Oh my god, it's you.
I was probably on the bench. Oh, that's Autumn.
Oh my god.
I was also talking to my mom about this, but I think the reason she said that our team was able to last until senior year was probably because of so much parent involvement. Like, even though it's us kids playing, you really need those parents involved. And we were lucky that all the parents on the team were close and wanted to put in that time to make sure this team stuck together.
Oh, I really enjoyed like our events we did around like Christmas time, like the gift exchanges. And it was also like we're hanging out with all the parents too, so I got to talk with everyone on the team.
Teams end up having different mindsets about what direction they want the team to go.
There was times where we were trying to decide how competitive we wanted to be, and once we decided that we were just not going to be competitive, it definitely eased like all the tensions.
I would say we had a more difficult time like staying together in middle school. Our team's gone through like a lot of changes, so the team that we started with up to like, I don't really remember, like maybe like 6th grade, that's when we started adding a lot of players.
Our team was like, they wanted to be good, so then they would get like players from like other teams or like stuff like that, like, you know, kind of stacking it. And then I was probably one of the worst players, and I was like, oh man, I just want to hang out with my friends.
I do think I was like not the best person on the team, and probably the worst, but but yeah, so I think kind of just having that sort of like skill difference kind of mentally was kind of taxing, which I think led to kind of a more negative like experience like thinking about it.
So I remember going back and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing here. Like, the people who are left here are like, I mean, I guess some people like me, and then also like people who are like dedicated, who are like might be playing collegiate basketball, right? So I'm like, what am I doing here? To be totally honest, like I'm actually not that good at basketball. I just like was tall, and that's was kind of helpful in the league. But the thing was that it was okay if I wasn't like amazing or anything. We still hung out after practices, or we still have fun while practicing or during games.
For me, I didn't feel as connected to my teammates as I believe they felt with each other, so I just kind of felt awkward a lot. Beginning like starting 3rd grade, I was like, this is so fun! Like, you have like fun little practices with like exercises and drills to do, so we do stuff like that. But later on, it was just like in like maybe like the last like few years of basketball, I was like, I don't want to go to practice. Do we have to play?
I think what it was my club teams competed against
so
the
nostalgic.
Yeah, because I was
Yeah, this is all you can say.
Oh my god, this one?
oh my
That's so
god.
funny.
Yeah. Is that after I left?
Were you confused when you saw
Yeah.
Yeah, a little, because I was like,
Well, I stopped playing around 8th grade, and it wasn't because I like lost interest or I felt unwelcomed, or like, it was really just because of I was scared I wasn't gonna handle that in my schoolwork in high school well. But it also gave me time to like dabble into other things in high school.
Instead of playing basketball for high school, I chose band?
I started getting involved in this engineering club at my school. Now that's my major.
You look the same, but like older. I mean, I feel like that makes sense. Sorry, that was a stupid comment. Can you cut that out, please?
No, I was telling her, I was like, you look exactly the same.
I was just telling you, cut everything out.
If I had never played basketball in the J League, I would not have the same friends. Like, I probably wouldn't even be talking to you right now, if I'm being honest. Or like, I don't even know if I would have joined NSU. Like, my life would have been completely different.
It's more than just basketball, in my opinion, because we are able to share experiences being Asian Americans and connect through culture.
And it gave me a sense of responsibility to my culture. I feel like this is one of the things in my childhood that gave me opportunities to be more connected with my Japanese culture. I don't think I would have been as connected as I am today if it weren't for Japanese basketball.
Especially coming from like a non-Japanese American, I feel like they were very inclusive, and it was a great way to learn more about the Japanese American culture, and it was really welcoming.
Well, I definitely still feel like I have a community there. That's what it's definitely given me. I stopped in 8th grade, but when I go back for like global and festivals, I always see familiar faces, or I'll even contact my teammates to go with me.
As Asian Americans, it's not as common for us to, or we kind of have that stereotype that we don't really play sports in general. So it gives us a great opportunity to strive in sports and just be confident being Japanese American or Asian American.
Because what I remember mostly from games and stuff is like these like 5-foot girls just staring you down, like not growling, but like so fierce. And I think that's kind of, maybe it breaks some kind of mold or image of Asian American girls.
This is so cliche, but it's definitely taught me like what a team and like what a family is outside of like my actual family. It's helped me really enjoy like basketball. Whenever high school basketball is like making me question why I'm sticking to it, like J League kind of comes in. It's like, it really reminds you like how fun basketball can be.
I'm not saying this because I'm being recorded, but I feel like they've given me so much. Like the friends, the people, the community in general.
Yeah, he's sitting out.